every pregnant woman should understand how to engage their core. And this is exactly where you're going to start. So no matter what stage of pregnancy you're at, we are going to be working on engaging into our core today and what that looks like, how it should feel, different positions you can try this in, because we want to make sure during your pregnancy, you know how to create strength in those abdominal muscles to help not only support your baby, but support you and then help us transition into our postpartum time. Now, join me, find a seat on something stable where you can have your feet nice and flat. The first thing I want us to do is we're gonna rock back and forth on our pelvis. We're gonna find a neutral position. What I mean by neutral is having our shoulders stacked over our ribs, stacked over our pelvis. So if you have a mirror, you can take a look and see if you can create this space, but maybe it's difficult for you. Do your best to just achieve that posture in the best way you can. Try not to force anything, okay? If you feel like you're really tucked, I want you to place something underneath you, like a towel, to lift you up a little bit. If you feel like you're really arched, I want you to think about pushing your low back just a smidge back to find that neutral position. Once we found that position, we're gonna go here into this neutral. From here, I'm gonna place my hands on my lower belly. Now, we're gonna go into a breathing sequence where our inhale is going to be focused on going on down towards our pelvic floor, allowing a relaxation to happen on our pelvic floor. Now, this isn't about connecting to our pelvic floor today. It is just about connecting to our core. So if you want to see more about that pelvic floor, jump to one of my other videos about how to train your pelvic floor into being able to contract and release. Now, getting on with this. Take your hands to that lower belly. We're gonna take a nice inhale down towards that pelvic floor, feeling like it should open and release. And then as we exhale, I want you to think about pulling your abdominals together and squeezing really tight first, just to feel what that feels like. Inhale, let it down again. Exhale, just squeeze. Right, good. Now you might have felt like you braced really hard. Maybe you dropped your shoulders down. Maybe you arched yourself up. Maybe you felt your belly push out really far because you're like, I'm just going to get that position really well, right? That's what happens when we're trying to like really contract and like focus really hard. But what I want us to do is approach this from a gentler perspective. We're going to use that inhale to allow everything to relax. And then as we exhale, I want you to feel a guided, gentle pull towards one another. So my hands are gonna be at my sides. I want you to feel like your hands are gonna pull towards one another and lift upwards towards your heart without changing any piece of our body. So the minute I exhale to contract my core, I should feel my belly lift. I shouldn't feel a rounding sensation or an arching sensation. Everything should stay neutral, but I should feel nice and connected each time I do it. We're gonna go through 5 breaths in a row to find this position. Place our hands down below. Ready with me? We're gonna inhale down towards the pelvic floor, out towards the sides of the body. Exhale, contract, pull the belly together, lift and pull upwards. Good, inhale, let it down. Let it go, inhale through the nose. Exhale, pull together, up and in. Inhale, let it go. Exhale. Good. You might see on my hands that I'm inhaling to release. It kind of goes apart. As I exhale, my belly is pulling inwards and up, and my hands are pulling up with me. I'm not just pulling my hands. My belly is pulling me up with it at the same time. Inhale, let it go. Into the back and sides, and then exhale, pull up and in. Good. Now, if you felt any movement of that exhale pushing out and away, I want you to go a little slower and try to get a little more in tune with your body to feel that pull together and upwards, not together and outwards. We want to keep generating our pressure evenly through our body, and the more we generate force outwards or downwards towards our pelvic floor could result in some other issues later on, which we are trying to avoid now in pregnancy, which is the best time to learn. Now, the next position that we're going to do this in is going to be laying down on your back. If at all you feel uncomfortable in this position, or you start to feel nauseous, dizzy, remember, we can do things on our back, but if it feels uncomfortable or unsafe to you at all, you don't have to do it this way, and we can find another position. For now, I am going to show you going down onto your back. And again, if we need to also, we can bring something up to lift ourselves up. We can always use a towel underneath us or a blanket to prop us up a little bit higher, whether that's our head, neck and shoulders, or a little bit of our rib cage, if that makes it feel better. But for now, I'm just gonna use this on the back of my head. I'm gonna roll to my side, lay on my side, and then I'm gonna roll onto my back, placing my feet flat, my back is on the ground, and I'm gonna rock my pelvis away and under, away and under, away and under. And I'm gonna stay towards the under to the best of my abilities. I shouldn't feel squeezing, but I should just feel a release here. This should feel nice. We're gonna go through that same breathing where we're inhaling down through the pelvic floor, exhaling, pulling our belly together, lifting upwards towards our chest. So let's start. Hands on that lower belly. Inhale down towards the pelvic floor. Exhale, pull the abdominals in and lift. Inhale, lower. Down towards the pelvic floor. Exhale, pull together. Lift upwards. Now, keep in mind as you're doing this, are you jamming your back into the ground? Are you tucking your hips like nobody's business? Are you squeezing your glutes? If you're doing any of those things, try to do them less, if not at all, but less will be the more optimal area right now if you're doing it a lot, right? Do this again with me. Inhale down towards the pelvic floor, into the floor. Exhale, contract, pull the belly together, lift upwards. Inhale again, into the floor, down towards the pelvic floor. And exhale, pull the belly in and up. Good. From here, let's just relax. Notice how your belly felt. Again, same thing like we did seated. Make sure your belly's not pushing outwards. Make sure we're not feeling downwards towards our pelvic floor, but a gentle lift and pull to create some space by lifting up, which creates some space in our back. Lifts belly up a little bit, creates some space for baby, and really allows us to get some general movement. Now, this last position I want you to try is going to be standing up. And when we are standing, we are going to acquire a voyer position from Dr. Guy Voyer, when we are going to put our pelvis in a neutral position or in a locked position, so we try to have no extra movement. We're gonna turn our feet in, and I want us to rock our pelvis forward and back, right? We're gonna inhale, let it go, exhale, tuck under. Inhale, let it go, exhale, tuck under. Maintaining this tucked under position. Again, I don't want you squeezing and pressing your hips forward like this. It's a gentle tuck. Just gentle to find neutral. Now, the key here is going to be staying here without changing anything. Same breathing. Feet are turned in, knees are bent, pelvis is a little under. Take a nice deep breath in, down towards the pelvic floor, into the sides of our ribs. Exhale, pull the belly in and upwards. Try not to pull yourself down. Stay up tall, in towards the sides and back. Exhale, pull up and in. Do that again. Inhale into your back, down, exhale, lift up and in. Watch from my side, nothing moves. Inhale, exhale, lift. Good. Making sure as we exhale, we're not pushing forward, not rounding up, not arching up. Keeping neutral. Let's do one more time in the standing position. Out to the sides, down towards the pelvic floor. Exhale, pull in. Good, and then we're gonna slowly relax, come out of it. Now I want you to try these in each different position. See what feels best for you. But this is the first step into learning how to connect to our core again during pregnancy. And if you really wanna get into some great moves, be sure to check out my And if you really want to get some great moves, you need to get into my Power Through Pregnancy Birth Prep Edition course, where we talk about all things with body mechanics and how your pelvis positioning and connecting with your core really affects our birth and labor process. Be sure to check that out. Make sure to like or subscribe to the channel if you like what you see, and be sure to share it with another mom in need. I can't wait to help more moms like you during this process.